Hello and welcome everyone to this call. If you can see me and hear me, please drop me a 777 in the chat box and I'll make a start. Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Shiza. I hope you're all well on this beautiful Monday, the start of the week for many, many people. Now, today, this is one of our regular mentorship calls. And what I want to talk about today is basically a little bit of history, a little bit about myself and where I've come from. And also one of the first books that I read in my journey to entrepreneurship. Now, going back a few years, a very, very long time, I was always told to work hard, go to school and get good grades. And that is what I did. I got very, very good grades at school. And once leaving school, I went to university and then eventually got a job. Now, again, when I was a child, going back, a fair few years now, I was told to, like I said earlier, work hard, get good grades and go to school and then get a very, very good job. Now, I didn't know anything else. That is all I knew from a very, very young age. And that is what I did from a very, very young age. And now going back to university, once I left university, I got a very, very good job, or something I thought was a very good job. But in all honesty, from day one, I hated that job. I absolutely hated my first job. In fact, most of the jobs that I've ever done in corporate, I've hated. Even after going to university, getting a PhD, an MBA, I hated working for somebody else. Now, that first job, again, a fair few years ago, I actually resigned from that job and decided to go to Australia. And at Heathrow Airport, I was in WH Smith, I think it was, and I was looking at the books. And this is the book that I bought, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So this is the first book, first practical, I call it, first practical business book that I bought. And it was actually this book that I read on my way to Australia. So obviously from the UK to Australia, I don't remember how long it took, at least 10 or so hours. I actually read the entire book on my way to Australia. Now, if you don't have this book, my recommendation is that you go and buy this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's a very, very easy book to read. And if I just read a little bit from the back, what it says is that the main reason people struggle financially is because they have spent years in school but learned nothing about money. The result is that people learn to work for money but never learn to have money work for them. And that was my life. I was poor. Although I was on a very, very good income, but relatively, I was still poor. I was passing over opportunities repeatedly because I'd been taught to go to school, work hard, get good grades, and get a job. I was effectively taught to become a slave to the system. And that is what schooling teaches you, unfortunately. People in school are taught to be puppets to the system, slaves to the system. And what happens is you go to school, you get good grades, and you get a good job, and you are effectively working as a slave for the rest of your life. And I'm ashamed to say I was actually in that system. I was actually broke, busted, and disgusted after my first job. I absolutely hated it. And this book was my first book that I read on practical business. Prior to that, obviously, I'd learned a bit of business at university as well. But what I learned was primarily theory. It wasn't practical. So what I want to talk about today are the 6 lessons in this book. And it's very, very important. And my recommendation is, if you don't have this book, get yourself a book. It's not expensive, and read that book. It's not a long read. And the stuff in there is very, very practical and things that you can walk away with. Now, the first lesson is that the rich do not work for money. I'll say that again. The rich do not work for money. Employees, people that work for a company or corporate, are broke. You will not find rich people, financially free people, working for another company. What you'll find is that the rich people create their own corporations. So unfortunately, if you are working for someone at the moment, and I think many people, looking at the list of people on this call, and many people on this call are actually working for another company, chances are you are broke. You may not feel like it sometimes because you have your regular income coming in every single month, but effectively you are broke And again, 95% of people within that discipline have more month at the end of the money, and you go into a vicious cycle. You get up in the morning, you go to work, you pay your bills, and then the next day you get up in the morning, you go to work, pay your bills, and it's a vicious cycle you just cannot get out of. And the acronym job is just over broke, because you have more month at the end of the money every single month. Now, employees, people that work in jobs, may work hard, but you only work as hard as you need to, so you don't get fired. So I used to work in the City of London, very, very intense position. And to be honest, I was working 60 to 80 hours a week, and it was not easy. I was earning a good income, but I hated it. And I was in the cycle of getting up in the morning, going to work, paying my bills, and the next day I'll do the same again, over and over and over and over again. Now, employers, your boss will pay you just enough so you don't quit. And you will work just hard enough so you don't get fired, and you're in this cycle of getting up, going to work, paying your bills every single day, day in, day out. And unfortunately, people that work in jobs, that is all you know. So if you have a job at the moment, my recommendation to you is, obviously you're in this business as well, to work your business until your income in your business matches or exceeds your income in your job, and that will be the time for you to move on. Okay? Profits are better than wages, over and over and over again. Once you're running your own corporation and Forex trading and building your team in this business, you are effectively running your own ship, your own corporation. And if you haven't already found this out by this point, you will know that profits are better than wages, over and over and over again. You can make a living or you can make a fortune, and you're making a living when you're working in a job for a boss as a slave to the system. It does not matter what your job is. You can be earning six figures in your job, but what you'll find is that you are surrounded by people of the same mentality, in the same circle of, I call it a circle of job. You're going around in the same circle every single day, going to work, doing your job, paying your bills, same again, getting up, going to work, doing your job, paying your bills. You're in that cycle. Now, when I was in my job, luckily for me, it didn't take me long. I was broke, busted and disgusted, but it did not take me long to understand that the corporate life was not for me. Although I'd been through to university, I'd spent thousands and thousands of pounds at university, years and years at university. But even when I started my first job, I was broke, busted and disgusted, and I was passing over opportunities repeatedly. So I was effectively poor. The rich do not work for money. Please write this down. Get yourself a pen and paper, because as you know, note takers are money makers. The rich do not work for money. The second lesson in Rich Dad Poor Dad is that of financial literacy. Now, you need to be financially literate to do really, really well in business, and financial literacy is the key to success with money. Now, obviously, we have income statements, and if you haven't studied accountancy before, it's not a big deal, but you must understand the difference between income, expenses, assets, and liabilities. Income is the amount of money you earn. So in this business, you will be earning an income from Forex, from your trading. Whether you do Forex, commodities, indices, or cryptocurrency, you will be achieving an income from that business. If you're building a team, you will also have your team income. So that is income. That is money coming into the system, money coming to you that you can spend as you wish. Expenses is the other side of the equation, and expenses covers things like taxes and obviously food, rent, clothes, etc., and also business expenses as well. Now, luckily in this business, we don't have that many business expenses, because many of us are able to work from anywhere in the world. We can work from home, we can work from the beach, so your expenses won't be that high as you would have in a traditional business. And that is one of the many advantages for you of being in this business. Our expenses are very, very low. And certainly I remember when I had a traditional business, I had an office, I had to pay the rent, I had to pay the electricity and gas and so on and so on. In this business, the expenses are not that high, and all you really need is a mobile phone. If you've got a mobile phone, you're covered. You don't even need a laptop to trade the largest and most liquid markets in the world. And that's why this business is so favorable compared to the thousands and thousands of other businesses in the world. Now, assets are things that put money in your pocket. So in this business, your team is actually an asset for you. So if you're building the business, your team is an asset because your team is helping you to bring in income. And again, in your case, the team is helping you, and also you're getting an income from Forex trading as well. Liabilities, the other side of the equation, anything that takes money out of your pocket. And what you'll find is that when you have the employee mentality, as I had all those years ago, although I had an expensive car, I had a loan on that car. I had a house, I was paying a mortgage, I was paying for credit cards, and over and over and over again, I was getting myself deeper and deeper into debt. When I had the employee mentality, I thought that the car was an asset. The only thing that is an asset is something that puts income into your pocket. So something that brings you money is an asset. So your house is an asset if it's making you money. And I'm not just talking about appreciation, I'm talking about perhaps rental income. And obviously I was a property millionaire in my early 30s, so I know a little bit about property investment. And when I had investment properties all over not just the UK, but globally, they were bringing income to me every single day, day in, day out. And that is what we class as an asset. So financial literacy is so important, and it's understanding the difference between assets and liabilities, income and expenses. And once you know these basic things, you can start building your business. And the amazing thing is that in this business of trading, we help you with a lot of things, not just trading, but also we can help you to build your business as well. Now, the rich buy assets over and over again so they can derive an income from the business. Now, Forex trading is extremely cash intensive, which means that you can make or achieve a very, very good income from Forex trading. And that profit that you obtain from Forex, you can pump into other assets like property, and then you can derive an income from property as well. Because Forex trading is so cash flow intensive, that income you can pump into property and get additional income streams on that basis. The average millionaire, wherever he or she may be, has 7 streams of income on average. 7 streams of income, whether that's trading, whether that's income from other businesses, from property. On average, 7 streams of income. And in this business, you are able to achieve at least 2 income streams as a minimum. Now, again, the middle class people that work in jobs are buying liabilities over and over again, thinking they are assets. Your car is not an asset unless it's making you money. Okay, your car is not an asset unless it's making you money. And again, once if you were to buy an expensive car, say a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, what you'll find is that you can actually rent your car out. So you can make your expensive car into an asset. And again, very, very important, assets and liabilities. What you need are assets that bring you money and less of the liabilities. So the middle class, people that have the employee mentality, have been taught to buy cars and that is an asset. Your car is not an asset. Your house is not an asset unless it's bringing you money day in, day out. And also, again, the employee mentality is to keep up with the Joneses. If your neighbors have an expensive car, you will want to buy that as well, whether you can afford it or not. And unfortunately, that is not the way to go. The way to do it in business is to do very, very well in Forex trading, earn an income from your team commissions, from your residuals, and to use that money to buy further assets. That is how you grow a business. That is how you become wealthy and financially free. You do not become wealthy by buying what you think or perceive to be assets like cars on credit cards, just so that you can compete with your neighbors. What you need to do is invest in this business, invest in the trading, invest in your team so that you can derive an income and pump that income into other assets. Now, the third lesson, this is the third lesson out of 6, so I'm almost 50% through. The third lesson out of 6 is to mind your own business. So mind your own business. Now, again, the current educational system teaches you how to become a very, very good employee, how to get a good job. And what you'll find is that people in jobs, their life revolves around wages and working for money. If you want to be wealthy, if you want to be financially free, you cannot work for money. I'll say that again. You cannot work for money. Yeah, your hours are much more valuable than whatever you earn in your job. Whether you're making £5, £10, £20, £100 an hour. In this business, you can work once and your income will flow over and over and over again into your asset column. You only need to work once to derive an income multiple times. When you're working in a job, you are effectively working how many hours you work, you're being paid for those hours. If you stop working, your income will stop. In this business, if you stop working, your income can continue to come in over and over again. That is what we call a residual income, and that is what the super wealthy and financially free people do. We do not work as employees for a reason. We are not slaves to the system. We're worth a lot more than the hourly we would get in a job. Okay, now employees mind someone else's business. So when you're working in a job, no matter what that job is, you are making your employer richer, wealthier, and financially free. What we need to do in business, what you need to do, and what Rich Dad teaches us, is that you need to mind your own business. Do not mind someone else's business, because what you'll find is that you're making that business stronger, and also you're bringing an income for that business rather than for yourself. You're getting paid a fixed amount of money, you're getting paid for your hours, and you need to do it the other way around. And again, when you're trading yourself, when you're helping your team to trade or your teams to trade, what you'll find is that you're investing in yourself, and ultimately you're increasing your own income. Finding a job is something, obviously you can do it short term while you build your business, but again, it's not going to make you financially free. I don't know anyone in a job who's become financially free as a result of that job. Even highly paid stockbrokers and traders, they spend everything they have coming in because they don't have the mentality to build an asset base, because they have not learned the teachings in this book. Now, your business income can be used to buy toys like your fast cars and so on, as opposed to buying those toys using credit cards and loans. And what you need to understand is that you need to make a living, and that's what you do in a job, or you can make a fortune, and that's what you achieve in a business. You can either make a living in a job or achieve a fortune by working for yourself in your own business. And what you need to do is sit down every single day and learn a little bit of trading, do your prospecting to build your business every single day. It's the persistency and consistency that will help you to move forward. You don't just do it for one day, for 8 hours in one day, and then just forget about it for the whole week. Even if you spend 10 minutes a day in this business, learning a little bit of trading every single day, prospecting every single day, presenting every single day, promoting every single day, and a little bit of personal development every single day, you'll find long term, it'll make a huge difference to you. If you think about your job, assuming you're in a job, you're working, 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, but you're doing it day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. And you may only be spending, 20 minutes a week in this business. Now imagine if you were spending 8 hours a day in this business. Where would you be if you were spending 8 hours a day in this business? And I can guarantee you, if you were to spend 8 hours a day in this business, you would absolutely smash it, and you would see your goals achieved over and over again. However, what you've been taught in school is to spend time in a job and to make your employers richer. What I'm saying to you is you need to turn the tables and focus more on your business, and you'll find that you'll achieve those ranks that you're looking for. You'll hit those trades that you're hitting for, because you now are spending time where time should be spent, and that is in your business. The fourth lesson is that of the power of corporations. Again, Rich people own corporations. We have limited companies. Poor people work for corporations. Rich people own corporations, have their own companies. Poor people work for corporations and make others richer. That is the difference. Rich people earn an income, spend that income, and then pay taxes. Okay? Just make a note of that order. Rich people earn first, then spend, and then pay their taxes. Poor people earn, pay their taxes, national insurance, give a little bit to the pension, whatever else, and then they spend. Okay? So poor people, those working in a job, what you'll find is that your expenses come after your taxes, whereas if you have a limited company, if you own your own corporation, you can spend first and then you can spend money, then you can pay taxes on the difference. There's a huge difference between those two. There's a huge, huge difference between owning your own corporation and working for a corporation. What you need to do as a rich person, as taught by Rich Dad Poor Dad, is to own your own corporation. Now, financial IQ is also very, very important. You need to improve your financial literacy and just understand the difference between assets and liabilities, income and expenses. I'll say that again. Assets and liabilities, income and expenses. Assets give you income, liabilities and expenses are on the other side of the equation, and they take money out of your pocket. The more assets you have, the quicker you'll become financially free, and the more liabilities you have, the longer you will stay in that everlasting circle with the employee or job mentality. So the fifth lesson is that the rich invent money. I'll say that again. The rich invent money. The single most powerful asset that we have. Does anybody know what that is? What is the single most powerful asset that we have? If anyone knows, drop me a chat message. I'm watching the chat box at the same time. Yes, yes. Zahid, it is our brain. Our mind is the single most powerful asset that we have. Mentality, our mind, mindset. Thank you, Ola. Champers, thank you, Mandeep. Yeah, so the mind is the single most powerful asset that we have, and if trained well, it can provide us with enormous wealth. Now, we train you on mindset every single day. We train you on mindset every single day for a reason. We don't just want you to do very, very well in your trading. We also want to give you the mentality of a seven-figure earner, of someone who's financially free. So the mindset training we do every day, we do it for a reason. The personal development we do every single day. The reason we hold these mentorship calls every day is because we want you to become personally developed so that your mindset is in the right place. And once your mindset is in the right place, you can do everything. If your mind is trained well, it can be used to create enormous wealth. Now, I've talked about, books like, obviously, Rich Dad, Poor Dad that I've got here, but other books like Think and Grow Rich. A lot of these books talk about mindset and the importance of mindset. By now, every single person on this call should have watched The Secret. Again, The Secret is a very, very easy watch, and that's why I recommend it. If you're still struggling to achieve your goals, I'm 99.9% certain that it's because of your mindset. It's not because of the skills that you have. Your mind is not in the right place. So improve your mind. Whatever you believe you will achieve. That's an audio product as well. We'll put it in the group again. I think, it's by David Immanitier, very, very powerful. The Secret, I've mentioned that already. So get your mind in the right place. It's the most important asset you have. You need to know where you're going. You need to know your goals. And once you know where your goals are, you will achieve them. You will smash them over and over and over again. Recently, I spoke to someone who was trying to hit a certain rank, and they were saying to me, I'm only like 2 or 3 people away. What's holding me back? The thing that's holding you back is your mindset. Get your mindset in the right place, develop yourself personally every single day, and you'll find yourself smashing those goals, jumping over those hurdles over and over again until you hit the goals that you want to hit. Now, quitters never win, winners never quit. And obviously related to this, the mindset, that's why mindset is so important. That's why the why is so important. When you know where you're going, where you know where you're headed, you will never quit. If you know where you need to get to and you know what your why is, you will do whatever it takes to get to that. Okay? And that's why mindset is so important. That's why it's so important for you to be personally developed. And again, with a mindset, you are creating your own world. So again, my question to everyone on this call is, what are you thinking about right now? If someone can give me some responses, what are you thinking about right now? And chances are, whatever you're thinking about right now, that is what you will achieve. So Mandeep, yes, goals. I know what your goals are, Mandeep. Mandeep will hit her goals over and over again because Mandeep is thinking about her goals every single second of the day. Same with Ola. Zahid, I mean, you've got the right answer. Taking things to the next level. You need to be thinking about your goals when you wake up, when you're having lunch, when you're having breakfast, when you're going for a run, when you're going to the gym, when you're having a coffee. You need to be thinking about your primary goals every single second of the day. And when you do that, the universe will open for you and your goals will be achieved. Okay? You create your own world. You're thinking about your goals all the time. You become what you think about, and then you will see that you'll absolutely smash your goals. And Rich Dad talks about this. I read this book a long, long time ago, and Rich Dad talks about this. When he says the rich invent money, you invent your own world. So you invent wherever you're going to be 2 months from today, 3 months from today, 6 months from today. If you want to become a chairman in this business, you need to be thinking about that every single second of the day, and you will make it. If you only think about it once a week, once every couple of days, you will not make it. If you're working in a job, if you have an employee mentality, what you'll find is that you're thinking about your job all the time. So you have a job to go to tomorrow. You know, what am I going to do tomorrow? Okay, I'm going to the office, get myself a coffee. I've got to work for my boss. I've got to do whatever he tells me to do. We are not your bosses. We are not managers. We are leaders. So we lead by example. Every single thing I'm telling you today is what I do myself and is what my mentors do as well. So again, make a note of that. We lead by example. Now, the last lesson is number 6, and it says work to learn, do not work for money. So again, a job is just over broke, and that's when you're working for money. And it's a vicious cycle. It's very, very hard to get out of. And the reason it's so hard to get out of is because that is what you've been taught since you were at nursery, since you were in primary school, secondary school, high school, university. You've only ever been taught how to become a good employee. And that is why that circle is so hard to get out of. That's why we place such a high onus on personal development, because it's personal development that will help you to break out of that cycle. The rich use jobs as learning platforms or learning opportunities so that they know where they're going later on down the line. So if your job is helping you with that, then great. Otherwise, you need to be focusing on your business so that you can eventually jump out of your jobs, okay? So focus on building your business part-time if you're working full-time, so that eventually your part-time business will become your full-time vocation. And that is what one of your goals should be. And if you focus on that, if you focus on hitting your trades, hitting take profit over and over again, if you focus on your residual income and think about it over and over again, your life will become what you think about. Now, to become financially free, a person needs to mind their own business. And again, when I'm talking about that mind, the word mind is so important in that, because whatever you think about is what you become. Now, those are the 6 lessons in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Obviously, there's a lot more stuff in there, but those are the primary lessons in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And the reason I wanted to go over those was because I've talked about this book. It's a very, very, very basic book on business, but it's a practical book. And although there's around 30 people on this call, and we've spoken before, not every single person on this call has bought this book yet or read it. And that's why I wanted to go through this, to show you how important it is to have the correct mindset, how important it is to have a business mentality as opposed to an employee or slave mentality. That's all I wanted to talk about today. I'm going to see if Mandeep's on the call, so Mandeep can have a few words as well. If you have any questions, please drop me your questions via the chat box and I'll be able to answer them on this call or after this call. Mandeep, are you on the call?
Hi, Dr. Jav, I'm here, alive and kicking. How are you all doing?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
Yes, all good. So how is everybody doing? Amazing. We've got 29 people on the call. Great, great, great. Jav, that was great. Thank you so much for that. I was scribbling away with my notes as well. So I really, really appreciate that. So, hey, you know what? I want a bit of energy in our group. Let me put some music on. We just need to light this group up a bit. Right. I want you all to tell me where you're from. I know we're doing this a bit backwards, but we're going to be doing things a bit different today. So go, light up the chat box. Where are you all from? Tell me, tell me, tell me. Let's go. Okay. We got Leicester, we got Leeds, we got Somalia. Welcome. Manchester, London, Canada, Mauritius, Wolves, London's finest. I love it. Welcome, Chris. That's great. Where else do we have? We have Manchester. I said that. London, Italy. Welcome, East London. Go. Oh, come on, guys. There's 29 of you here. Not everybody's answered. Where else are you from? Is everybody tired from work? Is that what it is? It's like nearly 7 o'clock, isn't it? UK time. Huggles Coat, welcome. I thought you're from Leicester. Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. Got it. I was thinking of something else. Amazing. Okay, that's fine. Oadby, wow. Jav, we were saying, amazing. London, okay. Leeds. Amazing. Okay, that's enough from that. I just kind of wanted to change things up today, which is why I thought, let's get the crowd going. Now, it's actually interesting because, I'm going to keep my slot short and sweet, actually. Dr. Jav covered a lot in that sort of 38 minutes that he was on, and again, Jav, thank you for that. That was really, really useful. But one of the things that I wanted to come on here and talk about was actually energy levels. And this is something so close to home for me, because I remember this specific time, for those of us in the UK, 6:39 it is right now, okay? So it's exactly 6:39. And the reason why I'm smiling is because it was at this time that I would reach home. And my energy levels were through the ground. Like, they were very, very low, because I just finished doing a whole day's shift of work, getting up at 6:30, leaving the house for 7:20 to get in the office for 8, and working till 6, and then battling through traffic on the way home, and then I was home for about 6:30 to 6:40. So I'm smiling, so I'm thinking, wow, this was a very, very significant time for me a few years ago, because I used to come home and my energy levels just used to be drained. And having done that for 10 hours a day for a decade, about 10 years, I just decided, wow, I've got to do something different. So I just want to say congratulations to every single one of you who has taken this opportunity to actually join such an amazing company. Because honestly, take it from me and take it from all the leaders, including Dr. Jav and several of the leaders who are also chairman as well. If you stick to this, and you learn to multiply money through this $6.6 trillion daily industry, my goodness, it will change your life. It will change your life. And not only that, for those of you that are also building the business and earning that residual income, imagine a situation where, regardless of what you're doing, whether you're sleeping, you're eating, you're with family, you're traveling, whatever it is you're doing, you've leveraged a system where you're earning money every single Friday. And it's such a great place to be in, because now you're not having to give your money to someone else. Your time to someone else. Not that you give your money. What am I saying? You're giving your time to someone else, and unless you like your job, that's different. But I just remember, the energy 2.5 years ago was so different to what it is now. I've got an exercise for you all. So hopefully you've got some pads and pens ready, because this is something that a multi-millionaire told us. To both myself and Dr. Jav, very recently, actually, when we met him. And I want you all to have a pen and paper handy, because you can actually, maybe some of you might want to share on the chat box. I don't know, I'll leave it up to you. But I want you to write something on your notepad, which is as follows. Your energy level on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no energy at all, and 10 being a lot of energy and woo, you're excited all the time. Where was your energy level 1 year ago today? So 1 year ago today was the 6th of July, 2019. Where was your level of energy? You might have to think back a bit. Maybe you were working, maybe you were going through something personal, maybe you're going through a life event. Whatever it is, where was your energy level? And again, if you want to share in the chat box, it's fine. It's not going to kind of go anywhere. But you know, have a think about it. So where was your energy? Maybe it wasn't quite good, and appreciate your honesty. You know, if it was a low, so low is like 0 to 4. You know, it was pretty low. 5, 6, 7 is average, and then 8, 9, 10 is you were fantastic. You were very, very upbeat. You were amazing. You were fantastic. So that's step number 1. So where were your energy levels a year today? Now the second number I want you to write is, what are your energy levels now? And when I say now, I don't just mean today, I mean this month, this week. So what is your level of energy today? Because you will have 2 different numbers, 2 sets of numbers. So just have a look at that. Let's have a look. We've got some 8, we've got some 9s, we've got some 4s. Okay, so you'll have 2 different numbers. Now, what I want you, the reason for getting you to do this exercise is because this gives you a massive light on how your energy levels are. And the results that you were getting last year are probably very similar to what you're getting this year. Unless you've had some kind of life transforming event or moment or business or whatever it is. But what people tend to find, most people, this is by the way, most people, is that their numbers are the same. If your numbers changed significantly, congratulations, because that's awesome. That is really, really good. You've obviously done something or met someone or done something significantly to change that energy. But for most people, that number is the same. If you were a 2 last year or a 3 or a 4, chances are you might be similar this year or this time. And the reason for getting you to do the exercise is because that energy field is so important. Because year after year, do you know something? Most people experience the same results financially, spiritually, mentally, psychologically. They're even in terms of their bank balance or their job, how they feel. They carry the same results year in, year out. And it's interesting because a lot of us set New Year's resolutions, don't we? You know, we set the resolutions and we say, right, okay, it's the 1st of January 2020, and I'm gonna double my bank account. I'm gonna change my job. I'm gonna start a new business. But 95% of people break their resolutions on the first day. And do you know why that is? It's because the energy which is being sent out here and from here is the same. How can someone's energy shift in one day from the 31st of December to the 1st of January? It does not make sense. And this is why most people fail with their resolutions very, very quickly, because they want to do a business, they want to do Forex, they want to do something, but then their habits and their energy is not changed. There's no shift. So it means that they produce the same results day in, day out, month in, month out. And that is actually, you know, really, 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 really important, you know? So now the next question is, how do we shift that energy? How do we make a shift from, okay, I'm getting the same results, I'm here, I'm present, I'm doing something. How do you change it? And the biggest way is through action. The biggest way is through action and consciously here changing something. And I give this example all the time. And the reason why I give it all the time, and you should know what I'm going to say, it begins with G, and most of you should know what I'm going to say. And that is things like gratitude. Change it. Exactly, Shannon. Yeah, it massively changes it. I had a quote recently, which I love. Get your pens out, because this is big. To know and not to do is not to know. Shall I repeat it again? To know and not to do is not to know. And as embarrassing as it is, that was me. I knew that gratitude journals were good. And I knew that, okay, I can set goals and resolutions, and I got it. But did I really do it? Did I physically write out a gratitude journal? No. I just thought, okay, I'm going to have, 10 figures in my bank account, or I'm going to leave my job and do a business. But I never really wrote them down. I never did a gratitude journal. And I kid you not, if you actually looked at my gratitude journal today, it's actually freaky what's in, well, I shouldn't say freaky because I wrote it and I created it. But the point being is that a lot of things in my gratitude journal have come to pass, right? For example, doubling my income from the corporate world. So through the residuals and the Forex I get, that's been achieved, which is fantastic. I wrote it down. I created it in spirit. My team is exploding. I'm so happy and grateful chairmanship is here. I'm so happy and grateful my parents are retired. I'm so happy and grateful for all the people I'm connected with. I'm so happy and grateful I have an international team. I'm so happy and grateful I'm connected with people from all parts of the world. It is amazing that when we write things down, our energy immediately shifts because we are being grateful for it. And suddenly that energy from last year is suddenly different. Because a change in feeling, I know this is big what I'm about to say, and it's in one of my books, which I'll show you in a second, but a change of feeling is a change of pattern and therefore a change of destiny. That is in quote from a book called Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. You can look at my poster for a second while I just grab the book. Hang on. This is a book that has completely changed a lot of things for me. This one, Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. And you can see I've literally highlighted all the relevant things that I feel are relevant. This book is a game changer. Let me tell you that right now. Feeling is the Secret. I know we're always, Dr. Jav and I, are recommending books and audios all the time, but that is so important. The way you feel about anything is going to determine your level of success. This is a big secret I'm telling you right here, right now. Some of you might miss this, but I hope most of you get it. I really, really do, because if you get it, you will understand it. And if you apply it, things are going to happen. Seriously, things are going to happen. This book, okay, when I say this now, everybody's going to probably put in an order for it. This got me to P5K. You understand what I just said? This book got me to Platinum 5. This book also enhanced my trading. And by the way, I don't work for Neville Goddard. I don't have any associate. I'm not trying to sell you a book or a course. All I'm trying to say is that to know and not to do is not to know. So if you know about the secret, but you're not physically applying it, you don't know it. That was me, by the way. I knew about the secret. I was introduced to the secret when I was 14 years old. But had I applied it by my 20s? No, sir. Not a chance. Was I in a job that I liked? No. Did I have the results that I wanted? No. So it's all about, you have to consciously apply it. If you know that the law of attraction and the secret, wow, I've seen the movie, I've read the book, it's amazing, but are you actually applying the results? Are you actually applying what you see to get the results? Sorry. So it's all about the way you feel. That's what it's all about. That's how you change your pattern. It's all in the way you feel. If you feel great about life, you will get great results. If you feel great about your trading, you will get great results. If you feel great about your bank balance, you will get results. And the key thing to remember is that we don't appreciate it when it happens. It's not about appreciating something when it takes physical form. It's about appreciating it now. It's about getting out there in the morning and saying, oh, I'm so happy and grateful. A lot of the names I see here are very capable of earning either 4 figures from trading or from building, either or. But it's all about thinking it here first. I'm so happy and grateful. A Platinum 1000. I'm so happy and grateful I've grown my account by 50% this year. I'm so happy and grateful I've compounded my account. I'm so happy and grateful I have a big team. For the builders on the call, your affirmation is, I'm so happy and grateful new and successful people are joining my business every day. And do you know who's given all this advice? It's Mr. David Imanitier. The person who's earning $750,000 a month. He made us do this exact exercise of how do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10 a year ago, and then in the present. And we actually did that with him. That was an exercise that he taught us. And I thought, I want to do something different with the team today, something that really sticks. So remember, and your feelings will change hour to hour, day to day, month to month. But the key thing is to draw back to your root of, I got this. It does not matter whether you are sitting on this call today as just a customer and there is no one in your team. It does not matter if you are on this call as a trader and your account balance is, it's not quite there, or it's in minus, or whatever, you've blown your account. It does not matter. It's about what you create here. And that is why when David says you live in, out, it means you create things first and then they happen. You create things first and then they happen. And that is basically me done. That is what I wanted to talk to you about today, is that your feelings are so important, and they will carry you through the ups, the downs, the darks, the lights, everything. So pay attention always. This is not voodoo stuff, by the way. Please don't confuse it that Mandeep's gone all crazy and this is hocus pocus stuff. This is real stuff. The millionaires, the billionaires of these industries are using this technique. They understand feelings. And to be honest, I need to retire my parents. I got big goals to achieve and to do, and for my future children to be with them and not worry about mat leave pay and all these things. So my goals are big. My goals are big, so I have to follow. Remember the first law of success. What is the first law of success? If you know what that is, put it in the chat box. What is the first law of success? What is the first law of success? There's 4 of them. Nope, it's not believing. What is it? What is it? What is it? Come on. Someone in this call knows what it is. What is the first law of success? Nope, it's not mindset. It's not vision. It's not energy. Okay, I'll tell you what it is. The first law of success is, who do you listen to? Who do you listen to? So are you going to listen to yourself? Are you successful? Are you going to listen to someone else who's successful? Are you going to read a particular book? Are you going to listen to an audio? It's all about who you listen to. So if you're listening to yourself, like David said, if you listen to yourself and self is broke, you listen to the wrong person. You have to listen to people that are where you want to be. Whether they're a 6 or 7 figure earner, go and follow them, study them. So for me, I'm entering my 6 figures this year. And I don't say that arrogantly. I say that with belief and conviction that when that's achieved, it means that I get what I want, which is my parents are retired. Happy days. So I'm going to listen to the people who are earning 6 figures. Abdullah Sandhu, David Imnitier, Takira Bass, Jay Palmer, all these legendary people in our industry. I'm going to listen to what they're saying. If they're saying, read that book, Mandy, I'm going to read that book, study it, learn it, understand it. And that is it. That is it. That is it. Your energy is so important. So ladies and gentlemen, I feel ready to rock and roll. I hope you do too. And Dr. Jav, back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mandeep. Yeah, absolutely amazing advice there. Can you all drop Mandeep some fire emojis and 777s in the chat box and thank her for the wonderful advice she's been giving us. Now, energy is so important, and obviously goal setting is very, very important, and you need to have both of those to be able to do anything, anywhere. However, I've mentioned this before on former webinars. Success is not free. Success will require sacrifice. Now, write this down. There is no such thing as try in a winner's vocabulary. There is no such thing as try in a winner's vocabulary. You're either in this or you're not. You don't just come in and say, look, I will try trading. I will try to build my business. You have to be in it to make it. There's no such thing, no such word as try in a winner's vocabulary. Do or do not, there is no try. So you're in this or you're not in this. And my recommendation to every single person on this call is to just get in there and get in there deep and make it happen for yourselves, as it has happened for many, many thousands before you. Nobody ever drowned in their own sweat. It will take a little bit of work from you. Obviously, success is not free. No one, I don't know anybody ever who's drowned in their own sweat. Yeah, it will require some sweat from your part. Some, you have to put some effort in, because you will not succeed for free. You have to make the effort to achieve the amazing results. But the good news is, once you've made the effort, once you've gone through the barriers, success will come over and over and over and over again for you. It's not like a job where you work your hours and you get paid for those hours. In this business, you work once, but you work very, very hard, and the rewards will come over and over and over again for you for a long, long time to come. Okay? So this year is the year of acceleration and expansion, and amazing things are going to happen for every single person on this call. That's all I wanted to say. I hope you've enjoyed this training today. I will see every single person on this call at the top, because the bottom is way, way, way too crowded. I'll see you all at the top. Speak soon. God bless. And thank you, every single person, for attending this webinar. Thank you.